By this time, last 2 years, tell us done they want the general public. Bring your clothes before December reach. We no get chance again. No. We have different customers from home and abroad. Now tell us they shout. Your teller is here. Patronize me. By this time last year, tell us no get chance again for December clothes. Now tell us they share their complimentary card. No be person wey chop they sew clothes. What have we done to this government?
God have mercy upon us.
You don't even allow us breathe small. Just be like woman wey just deliver, your husband give am belle again. Last year, last 2 years, you go to hear the richest comedian in year 2021. Richest businessman in year 2021. Richest this, richest that. This year they decide to change the narrative. Dangote lost 24 billion. This company lost 2 billion. That's also lost.
Rich, watch and come of tea. He went to prison.
This one no be say the rich they enjoy, the poor they complain. All of us they complain. In the same level of complaint, we are the complainants number 1.
Nobody is not there. Eventually.
Gonna allow us breathe small. Even people wey get car, you don't fit show your car off. One good thing about this government is they make married men responsible. 70 don't dey house. Because if he dey for road fuel finish, you go see buy. So you better go home early. Even people now cannot determine whether they go Christmas or not. Then they focus Christmas. Then they focus of like saying a forest trading. Guy, you go December. I don't know, make I check within the transportation go be first. Make I know what the fuel price go be. Guys, you know they go up go. Now fuel go determine. If the price dey favorable, I go. If not, at them I are there. After all, we are one Nigeria. Mamma mia!
I'd like to remind you that ab initio, we were friends with Bola Tinubu for many, many years. And I know the people around him. And I had the suspicion that based on my knowledge of some of his friends, I had an idea of who will occupy which position he's going to do. When he announced his cabinet of 46, to be sincere, I only acknowledged 2 people as being competent. And I phoned those 2 people and congratulated them and confessed to them that I considered them round peg in round holes. One, the first was David Umahi, who is the Minister of Works. Before David Umahi became a governor, he was a civil engineering contractor, building roads and buildings. So I considered him a round peg in a round hole, and I congratulated him for the appointment. The second person I thought was a round peg in a round hole was the Minister of Finance, Mr. Wole Edu, and I did also congratulate him. Now, as to his central bank governor, in my response to APC when they decided to take me on, I did mention that the president had the central bank governor with patch CV. I said patch CV because his CV indicates that he was commissioner of planning and whatever in Lagos State, a very small state out of the 36 states we have. And it's a big economy, but you cannot say he has enough experience for being in that position to be central bank governor. They also went on to say that he was chairman of a bank. I can't remember the bank. With 13 branches. And that doesn't give him sufficient exposure, a bank with 13 branches. And I did mention that they were all located along the coast. Lagos, 2 branches, Warri, Benin, all those things. Apparently, to me, the bank was targeting oil money. And and he's now central bank governor. And he didn't disappoint my expectations because the first thing he does as a governor, first policy was to remove import ban on 43 items, most of which were very critical to Nigeria's food sufficiency. He removed the ban on importation of rice. Nigeria had a very massive program on self-sufficiency on rice for the Anchor Borrowers program, and we're beginning to reach about 90% of self-sufficiency. We farmers were beginning to think by next year we'll be exporting the excess rice that we have produced. But he comes and says, no, you are now free to import rice. He can give you the foreign exchange to import rice. He does the same thing, I think, on so many other key agricultural items. So it convinces me that my suspicion that this man will not be able to do this job was right. So those two, I said, the rest I don't know them. I mean, I don't know them. On the basis of what you have been doing in the past, the Minister of Education from my state was Vice Chancellor of the university. He's been an academic all his life, but as being Minister of Education, I don't know. I think too he's around holding around peg in a round hole. So that is my assessments of the government. The rest are just cronies, my friend's friend, my friend's girlfriend, my sister's, my wife's friend, all that. They are all over in the cabinet. So there you are. You know, I was shocked at when Bola Tinubu took those decisions. First of all, he removed the subsidy on the day he was sworn in, if I'm right. Now, at the time he did this, he had no Minister of Petroleum, he had no Minister of Finance, he had no Minister of Planning. I don't know on what data he took those decisions, because normally before you take such enormous decisions that will impact the economy of the country, you ought to do an analysis and have a standby plan to mitigate any outcomes that are going to be that will adversely affect the people. But he didn't have those people in place. He removed the subsidy. Going forward, before even he inaugurated his cabinet, he deregulated the Naira. Again, I want to ask, he had locked up his central bank governor before then. He had no Minister of Finance. He had no Minister of Planning. He had no Economic Council. On what basis did he take those decisions? Simply his decision of an arrogant man who thinks he knows everything. And the consequences, of course, are there, because now the economy is in a free fall. People are suffering. People are finding it very difficult to get 2 square meals, not to talk of 3. So if those are reforms, I'm surprised at how he arrived at them single-handedly. I think the function of government is collegiate. You need to get the different segments of the society to give you input before you take such monumental decisions. He didn't. My friend is Mr. Know-it-all.